Alright guys, picture this. You're miles from the nearest campground, no hookups, no neighbors, just incredible views, complete silence, and then your batteries hit 15% or less. Now what? Do you rely on the sun and hope the weather cooperates? Or do you fire up a generator and know you'll have power no matter what? If you've spent any time researching RV power, you've probably heard people argue that solar is the only way to boondock. Others will tell you a generator is all you ever need. The truth? Well, that truth lies somewhere in the middle. We recently made an upgrade that might surprise a lot of people. We bought a Predator 5000 inverter generator instead of investing thousands into a large solar system. Was that the right choice? In this video, we're breaking down the real pros and cons of solar versus generator. By the end, you'll know exactly which option may be the best sense for you in your RV adventures, and why the answer might not be what you expect. Let's get into it. We are going to run through what we feel is kind of solar versus generator, I guess you could say. We currently have, I think, a 500 watt panel on this rig that we have. We do not have an inverter.
But it's prepped.
But it's prepped. And we've always kind of tossed around the idea of getting a couple more panels and the inverter and stuff for boondocking and so forth. And just never really could pull the trigger. It's really kind of, I think, more for cost than it is anything. It's my opinion, right? Is you put a lot of money into, we all know, a depreciating asset, right? So, you know, some of these rigs you can get into 10,000 or higher to have solar installed.
Especially if they're really wanting to run
for
multiple ACs and all of that, and really stay out off grid or off hookups.
And
for sure.
And I'm the camping princess, right? So I won't stay anywhere that doesn't have pretty much full everything. No. I can kind of go without
one night
plumbing, no, the septic. But after that, I gotta move on. So anyway, we were doing some research, did some Facebook inquiries on our 3515 group. They were a lot of help.
Our Brinkley Facebook group for the rig, the Z3515.
Right. And just trying to kind of narrow down what generator we wanted to go with, because the ultimate decision was we went with a generator. Rather than adding more panels and doing the inverter and stuff on our rig, I feel like this is going to serve the purpose for us to be able to boondock and do the things that we want to do from a boondocking perspective. Ultimately decided on the Predator 5000. It's a quiet inverter. It's got the inverter already built into the unit itself. It's a dual fuel, so we can run on propane or on gas. It's got a 30 amp, so I can reduce down from 30 amp for our rig is 50 down to 30, and a couple of 110s USB. It's also got a port that I can put another identical unit onto this if we wanted to add on to the capacity of 5,000. So yeah, that's what we went with instead of the solar. So this was how much?
$1,000.
$1,000. Solar's going to be five to, if we get out,
15.
5 to 15,000. So yeah, so that's kind of where we're at.
Yeah. And if we ever change rigs, go back into sticks and bricks, this is something that can go with us too. And I have always lived along the Gulf Coast and hurricane country, and of course we spent 20 years in Corpus, so we had a generator
that ran the house.
So this is also something that we're very familiar with and used to using, something along those lines.
Yeah, whereas if it's something went wrong with the solar, I wouldn't even know where to start troubleshooting.
Yeah, it's a whole learning curve, I think.
Yeah.
With the solar.
A very expensive learning curve.
Yeah.
So
we found this at Harbor Freight. This is Predator. I don't know if it's only sold at Harbor Freight.
The Predator brand is primarily sold at I don't know if it's exclusively their brand, but they sell them. And so that's where we went. So like I stated earlier, this is a dual fuel. It comes with the adapter for hooking up to propane. It's got an outlet here on the front that if I wanted to switch over to propane, it's got a quick connect that I just put on there, and I hook this portion to the a bottle. Now the only caveat to that is reading the owner's manual. It runs off of, you have to have a minimum of 20-pound bottle for this to actually run this unit. So right now we're primarily going to run in the gas mode. It's got a switch here on the front where you just go from gas, and if I'm running propane, I switch it back over. We're going to run gas primarily. I will do some tests on the propane just to get familiar and to see what the capacity is on the rig itself. There is some slight fluctuations in regards to propane versus gas, but they're very minute. Both mainly in the number of hours that you get out of a tank versus running gas, right? So these rigs do not come filled with oil. So make sure that you read the owner's manual, stop at your local, AutoZone or whatever, and pick up a quart of oil to put oil in it.
And no ethanol gasoline, correct?
No, you can use the ethanol gasoline, just no E8, I think it's E85. Yeah, no E85.
E85.
So right now, yeah, I mean,
how do I know that? If you're not here, how do I know what gasoline is E85?
Well, it'll say.
At the tank?
It'll say on the thing. Yeah, it'll say. It's usually a yellow handle on it, and it'll say E85.
But don't use that.
Do not use that. Two of the things that I really like about this rig is the start-stop button.
Ooh, yeah, and
I do not have to. It does have a manual pull start, but
clicker.
But it's also got a clicker. I can do it from long range. There we go. We're up and running. I can stop it with this as well, or I can just use this button. See how quiet it is?
Yeah.
So that's one of the good things about an inverter generator, is they are a lot quieter than just a regular oil slinging generator, and they also are built for sensitive equipment like laptop computers, your cell phones, anything sensitive, electronic type stuff that you're going to be charging or whatever. You really want to do those charges on a generator or with an electricity current that is inverted in some way, right? It's basically cleaner electricity is really what it boils down to.
So this is our watchdog. Will we use this?
Absolutely.
Okay, because that'll also help to make sure.
Absolutely, we're going to use this. So we ready to run a test and see what all this thing will run, or what?
How much does it weigh?
110 pounds, and 110 pounds is pretty alleviated by 4 wheels, and it's got a extended telescoping handle on it. It's got a lock and unlock on the wheels to keep it in its place. So it does have a digital meter on the outside, so you can see what kind of output that you're doing. The sticker on the top says you must not exceed 32.5 amps, right? So I'm looking for, you know, my gauge once we start running stuff to probably be half of that. So we'll see exactly what we're gonna do. We're gonna, you know, go inside, turn a bunch of stuff on, come back out here, see where my amperage is at, turn an AC on, and see where everything's at. So one of the things that is kind of intrigued me a little bit about this unit is, as I was pulling out, looking through the owner's manual, there was some parts for the carburetor, and it talked about being at different elevations that this unit would not function properly, or it may not
as intended,
right? We're at 7,800 feet, and this thing is running fine. Now, we haven't hooked up anything to this, so we'll see how that rolls, but it came with different elevations, and it has to do with the carburetor and the airflow that the carburetor is getting, right, at certain elevations. And so there's a kit in there, a carburetor kit that came with it for elevations above 2,000 feet. There's one in there for elevations above 4,000 feet, and there's one in there for elevations above 7,000 feet. So far, I hadn't changed anything, right? And it's running. I mean, and it doesn't sound like it's trying to cut out or anything at this elevation. So, but it has to do with voiding the warranty, is what the manual says. So, I don't know, you know, that's up to you guys if you want to change those out. I'm no mechanic. I'm not going to go in here and pull a carburetor off of a brand new.
because that's what it takes for it to do, right?
Yeah, you have to pull the carburetor off. You have to separate the carburetor and then put in all these new O-rings and breather valves and stuff like that in order for it to be technically correct at the elevation that you're at. So I'm just not going to do that, and I'm going to see how it goes, and we'll see what it runs.
Okay. All right. All I care is that it runs the hair dryer.
Yeah, that's all I care it runs to.
And yeah.
So
and all he cares it runs is the TV.
The
and
TV,
his internet.
The TV, AC, and fan. That's
and the
all
internet.
Yeah, and the internet. So are we ready to run a test or what?
Yeah, we're ready. Let's go.
Okay. So let's turn the internet back on.
The internet should already be on.
How's that?
Because it was plugged in to the wall.
Let's get the TV on. In order: TV, AC, fan, hair dryer. Got to get priorities, man. Actually, we need to run that.
Microwave.
Turn this on. All right. Bed's not made.
Oh, well. Bed's
right.
not made.
Let's see what this does.
Okay, just shut off.
Hear the difference?
Yeah, it just shut off.
Okay. So the biggest draw then
Was
is
the microwave.
Yep. It is running that AC perfectly. I've got the fan on, the TV on, a couple of lights. It's pretty much everything that we need. Yeah, so fan's running, AC nice and cold. We'll only run one AC at a time. So if we wanted to, you know, it's not bedtime, we'll run the main one, right, during the day. But everything's working that needs to work from a boondocking perspective. Everything we wanted, right? microwave, coffee maker, fan, AC, all the lights work, all the receptacles work, which is the same thing that you're going to get with solar for quarter of the price, I think. And as Kim stated earlier, I really like the fact that we can use it for other things, right? Yeah. Whereas, you know, solar on a unit, you can't use it. Like, you know, so if you have construction projects that you got coming up, or, you know, friend needs to borrow a generator, you know, those types of things, we've got that. There's advantages, you know, being portable and whatnot, being able to use it for different things. There's also disadvantages. We've got to have gas or propane. We can run out of gas and propane. You know, but with solar, you don't, if the sun, you don't have sun for 3 or 4 days, yeah, well then, you know, that reduces your power limit too. So there's pros and cons for both of them. I just like the option of being able to be a little bit more mobile with the generator for $1,000. Yeah. You know, versus the big ticket number, right?
So we're gonna keep running it and trying it. We've got some things that we can use it for, some things coming up, and then we'll kind of keep y'all up to date.
Yeah, yeah.
On how it does.
Yeah.
But so far, I mean, it's working out great.
So far, it's working great. And again, you know, at this elevation, I didn't change anything on that carburetor with the kit that they provided, and it's running great. And we're at 7,800 feet here.
Yeah, I like the fact that we can add to it.
There are adapters that we can add to the actual kilowatts that we're using. So
I think you can probably add a smaller amount.
Maybe so. Maybe we, you know, go and buy a 2,500 and you know, so now we're running at, you know, 7,500 kilowatts, right? And we've got that much available. And maybe we may be able to run 2 ACs with this one. I don't know. Honestly, I don't really even want to push it.
What would happen? Would it just cut off?
It'll cut off.
Will it hurt
cut off, but I don't want to take the risk of it hurting the rig.
Yeah.
Right? So
yeah,
I would rather, you know, play it safe and just run the one unit. We've got 3 units on this rig, so
3 ACs.
3 ACs, so run the AC that is needed the most at that time. This area is where we spend most of our time, so I would think it would probably, you know, be this one. But when we're in bed, you know, sleeping, it's that one, you know. Yeah. So man, everything's running great.
All right.
One other thing that I do recommend, like we said earlier, that unit does allow for ethanol fuel. I found a place in where we bought it in town that sells non-ethanol gas. Ideally, in any kind of equipment like that, you know, weed eaters, lawnmowers, whatever, if you can, stick to non-ethanol fuel. And yeah, that's it.
All right. Okay. Well, thanks for sticking around with us on this little test, and we're excited about getting a generator. I'm really excited so I can get him out and he can still have all his comforts of a full hookup. All right. Till next time. Bye, guys.